Yeah, so obviously I haven't posted any videos since I started this project. Let's see, it's July 2nd. So I don't know, 6, 7 months, 8 months. I've worked on this, and this is where I'm at. About ready to rig the ailerons. Ailerons are in place. So you can see I'll walk around here, get a better view of them. So I was anxious to get the coping on the back of the ailerons. Maybe a little bit more exaggerated than the original, but just excited to do it. And then, wanted to do the rest, and then realized, you know what, maybe I better slow down. Maybe I better get this thing rigged out. There's pulleys that have to go up here for the ailerons. There's 2 pulleys. I've got one kind of, you can barely see it, and it's not really in the right place, but it's going to run the cable over here to the cockpit. I think I have that pulley kind of roundabout there, and then it's going to run. It's going to be an exposed cable, and it's going to go down to the front of the yoke, up here anyway. Bad view. Apologize for that. So this is a good time to pump the brakes, figure out what you're going to do. See, I've got this board here that I've put on top of the wing crossover tubes. Got the forward crossover tube and the rear crossover tube. I've got the board. I'm going to have some angle iron underneath it. You're going to be able to jump up and down on it without it bowing at all. And then I'm screwing the floor plates to that using all aircraft hardware. I keep spending a fortune on aircraft hardware. A lot of stuff didn't come with the kit. When you start getting imaginative here, you want to do everything right, so it takes more hardware. So you can see I've got the stick put in place. I've got this going back in here. This is kind of using your imagination, using some hardware. This is the stick is gonna move this back and forth. Stick's not doing a very good job of it right now. There we go. Sorry. Okay, this is obviously these cables, you're gonna have a Y cable going from the bottom, Y cable going from the top. In other words, a long cable split in the center with a thimble. It's gonna bolt here. It's gonna raise the elevator up and down. Obviously, it's not in place. Elevator is the whole tail assembly. Tail feathers are up here, hanging from the ceiling. They're all done. They look beautiful. Actually used a bit of a projector to project some of these angles to get the perfect bends. Wanted to do it as good as I could. I'm sure there's a lot that I'm forgetting. Crossover cables loosen up when you're putting them together. I've got green tape on them. They need to be retightened. A little bit of a pain in the neck. Some of this stuff I'm going to do it before I put the leading edges on, and before I put the scalloping on the back edge of the wings. I could do the top, but like I said, I'm waiting to run the control cables. I just don't want to bump into anything. It's going to be, when you disassemble everything, there's enough of a chance of bending stuff. I don't want to do it in the building process. So you get to this point, I advise you just to pump your brakes. So this was the best way to level it, was to take the tires off. As you can see here, let me get out of the fan. I've putting disc brakes on here. I put some 4130 square tubing on there. It's going to limit a little bit the travel. I put some Teflon in between that for it to be able to move up and down real easy. We've still got work to do on that. Teflon is extremely heavy, so I'll do some work there to lighten that up. But basically, the 4130 inside the landing gear, when you apply the brakes, the axle will not be able to spin. So there's a lot of different ways people do this. I'm experimenting with this one. You know, you don't like it, you destroy it. You know, buy some new axle material and put another one on. But so far, that's what I'm doing. Let's see here. The tank is just sitting there. It's not roughed in. I had to buy these bolts. These are 180,000 foot-pounds of tensile strength. These bolts here that'll mount the engine cage here. Mount that onto the front of the engine for the 7-cylinder burner radial that I plan to put on it. So I'll point out these handles that I put on here in the step. So kind of close to scale and kind of the way other people have done it. This is steel tubing that I cut the steel tubing. I put a split in it, then I put nuts on it, then bolts through here. I did the same. Give you a better idea for the handles. So that's steel tubing that I bent, kind of to scale. That's pretty good. Go back here to the tail wheel. I made this tail wheel. I redesigned using 3-inch angle iron, aluminum angle iron, and put the tail wheel into Bosley supplied. But I forget what this is called. This black, it's like a Teflon, kind of better than a Teflon, but moves really good. There's no play in it. Screen door hinges going on here. This is got a little modification to do on here, but just a slight amount of play using the bungee cord. So here we are. Just wanted to show it to you. The seat is just made a seat kind of to the drawings that Bosley had. Not necessarily that I'm going to use it. It was a couple bucks. It doesn't look like anything, but this was all oak. It was all laminated. It was probably $30–40 sheet that I destroyed. Now I could upholster over that. Nobody would ever know the difference, but I've got some modifications to do. This is just a platform for the seat. Prior to it's just getting it's going to sit a little bit lower. My shoulders will be sticking out. I've looked at how a lot of people have done it, where the pilots were situated. It's going to be more like a chair than a Corvette. You could probably make it a Corvette, but I'm going to stick my head a little bit up a little higher to see over the machine guns that'll mount. And anyway, I've modified that little platform, and I'm going to make a mounting, an adjustable mounting, very similar to the original, where it's steel. It's not going to be a lot of steel, so it's not going to be heavy, but it'll be adjustable, and it will slide up and down on. It'll slide up and down on these supports that are. This will sit. You can see this is coped out to sit on top of the crossover tube. So it's going to sit in here somewhere. I'm going to have a triangle that will slide. It will slide up and down, holding the seat, and it's just a matter of matter of engineering. So I put the wing crossover in this morning. That's something that I've been holding off on. It wasn't that difficult, but you know, you want to coat that tubing out as clean as you can, and remember, you're going to be sitting in here, so give yourself a little bit of room. I don't know what else to say right now. Try to keep your area clean. You got a lot of area here. Got almost, what, a 24-foot wingspan. It's almost 10 foot tall. My friends come over and they ask me, how are you going to get it out of the shop? Anyway, I hope this helps. Hope this helps some folks. Anybody's got any questions, feel free to reach out to me.